but is any broadcast with anybody ever like free from at least
Yeah,
one
should
error?
be.
It's like
Should be.
really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can look at the Titans, we can look at DreamHack, MLG, or whatever, and
No, I'm
their
talking.
streams are
No,
far from free.
I'm talking professional television. These guys are
Well, yeah,
still
that's
quite
true.
a ways off from being
Well, that's
professionals.
that's definitely true. Yeah, but they have like a couple of decades of experience usually.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah,
I
we don't.
mean, television's been around since the 50s or 40s or whatever. So
I think they've been on for even longer, but yeah.
yeah, probably. Anyways, first map of the series is going to be the same one as in the previous match, meaning we are playing on Belshir Vestige. In the bottom right, we do have AT's Najzmajs, the Zerg player in blue colors, and opposing him is going to be uThermal in purple, spawning top left. I actually met uThermal on ladder a couple of weeks back. He didn't even recognize me. I was really sad about it.
Yeah,
I was like,
whenever.
I went into the game and I'm like, oh, it's uThermal. Good luck, have fun. And he's like, not responding.
Whatever, kid. Like,
Yeah, he's like not responding. So I typed to him again. I'm saying, do you remember me? And he's like, no, should I? And I'm like, man, I casted your games in the qualifiers of DSCL. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, good luck. That
oh,
was
it must have
so,
felt awful.
yeah,
I
very,
mean,
very
at
awful.
one point, I was actually, recognized by someone while while I was trying to cheese them. They're like, "Oh, you're Yahweh the caster." I'm like, "Oh, god damn it, I can't cheese the guy now." Like this, now I have to play standard and win slowly. God damn it! Oh, son of
Oh,
a.
yeah, that usually, yeah.
Yeah, and I must actually confess, I confused because I fought this nice mice, this Swede, the kid. Sorry, everything you say makes sense now because this nice mice I'm completely aware of. I've actually seen a fake nicking nice mice, with the Z before the J.
Yeah.
So, and I thought we were gonna cast him, but of course, if this is nice mice, this is the legendary 12-year-old Swedish guy who's basically just 12.
Oh, so I did remember correctly about the
Yeah.
age. That's nice
And
to
look,
know.
he is actually gonna lose the first Overlord. That's unfortunate for him.
And the Overlord does go down from the fire of the Marines. Ghost Rifle's pretty good unit. And well, uThermal is going into Hellions and going to be expanding behind that. Now he did it the other way around. Some players just prefer to get the expansion and then the factory and the reactor, delaying it a little bit, but getting their expansions up a little bit earlier. And I can say I fault them because you are not guaranteed to do damage with Hellions. So if you go for a factory into an expansion, you pretty much have to do damage. Otherwise, you are behind in econ. So um,
Yeah.
let's see how effective these Hellions are going to be.
I feel like I was just about to mention we've seen a lot of gas intake here from traditional or uThermal, as I perhaps should call him,
Hmm.
and I'm basically wondering where is that gas going to be dumped into. And now we start seeing widow mines, and I believe we might see some helmet drops, I guess, fairly soon.
We do have the armory and the starport going down, so that is actually a pretty good indication of what's about to come. And Hellbats are pretty annoying to deal with. Luckily, we do have the Roach Warren already completed. We have 4 queens because Najzmajs did open with 4 queen opening without any gas. So it's got a pretty solid defense versus drops or run-bys of any sort. Uh, it is going to change maybe a little bit with these Widow Mines. But oh no, the Widow Mines are just for controlling the expansions. Now, did Najzmajs see this one burrowing there? Oh, probably.
Well, he probably did, but looks like. Oh, actually, he
Ah.
didn't notice it. He had vision of it, but well, that's one drone less for him, then I guess.
Alright, so the follow-up to this is, as you rightly pointed out, going to be Hellbat traps. Meanwhile, we have 3 spine crawlers being built. We have a couple of roaches out on the field as well, 2 more being produced. bringing our count up to 8 or 9. Now, the only question is, will Najzmajs react to this in time, and will he catch on to the fact from which direction will the medevac come in? And these Widow Mines, man, they're just continuing to be an annoyance for Najzmajs. And since he doesn't have a lair yet, pretty much he's stuck to 2 bases, and
Yeah.
he can't feel very good about it. Very nice usage of Widow Mines there by uThermal.
Yeah, we're actually seeing a counterattack from Najzmajs at the same time as these Hellbats drops go down, and the Hellbats just roast so many units, quite effective at harassing. But meanwhile, I don't think there's much to defend here for traditional.
No, and 2 Hellbats, they can be healed by a medevac, and when microed correctly, they can do tons and tons of damage, loading up into the medevacs and just moving away. He needs to lift the depots though. Very nice reaction by uThermal there. But I don't think he's going to be able to defend with just 1 Rex. I mean, he does have a couple of Widow Mines there, but once the Widow Mine explodes, that's it. I mean, it's not a siege tank. It fires only once per every 40 seconds.
Yeah, it's cost effective, but it's not really that unit you can rely on for permanent solid defense, or whatever we should call it.
Yeah.
But Najzmajs is sure getting a bit of revenge in terms of actually denying your opponent's economy. But we should also point out that 13 workers killed for traditional is quite a bunch.
Yes, there is, and the Najzmajs actually behind in worker stab, but at the same time, uThermal can't mine off of his second base. He's adding 3 additional factories, and for that he will need that expansion. And I think the most crucial thing to point out here is that he kept Najzmajs on 2 bases this whole time. Najzmajs, for some reason, did not get lair and did not get an overseer, and wasn't able, as a result of that, expand, because there is no way you can get rid of those
Hellbats, I
mines.
should say, have killed so many drones. Actually, not really finishing off all the red HP drones which remain. And the roaches, I think that their usefulness is sort of past pretty soon.
I think so. As long as you can keep those 3 marauders alive, you should be able to push those back without any issue. And there we go, the command center lands. And now we will be able to go into tank Hellbat production. Where do we have the armory just for the upgrades? No. Okay, so we have +1 upgrades for mech. I know additional upgrades are being researched at the time. And finally the layer goes down. Now, versus this, the most obvious response is Mutalisks, but you have to get them before Thors start coming out onto the field. The other response you can do is Hydras, but you have to have a pretty good economy and a very large number of Hydralisks, just because of the insane damage tanks are able to dish out onto them. And is this natural going to be denied for the second time in this game? Oh, wait a minute, even the main is under attack. Now those roaches, that's not the most cost-efficient use of them, as they all will go down, not even killing 1 tank. But again, denying the natural base. And, well, if we look at the resources for both of these players, we can see already that uThermal has quite a problem maintaining his income for what he wants to be building.
Yeah, once again some Hellbat harass in the natural, and the medevac goes down. That's unfortunate, but I feel like traditional, going mech behind this, which is a very, very common thing to do when you go Hellbats, he can slowly build up this army, which will just absolutely demolish his opponent. Because, we pointed out that Najzmajs is on 2 base, he's being denied that 3rd base, but this is just beyond control. He's actually 2-basing, and he's probably going to 2-base the entire game, because I don't think he's even attempting to take a 3rd right now.
No, I don't think he is. He did spread his creep all the way to his would-be 3rd, but those 2 Widow Mines, they are still there, and yeah, Najzmajs is moving into Hydras. And you are right, he's showing no intention of taking a 3rd base. He's not even droning. He is staying at 47 drones, which is quite enough for 2 bases. And he's just going to mass up a large army and push, probably. Maybe
Yeah,
take a
once
third.
again, by the way, the harass going down in the main
Yeah.
and 2 helmets being dropped, killing off quite a bunch of units, and they should be able to safely get out of there.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
26 drones have gone down this game already. You know, and uThermal not gaining any advantage with this, or any sizable advantage with this, but he's keeping Najzmajs in check. And that's exactly what he wants to do, because he needs to mass up. Seriously, he needs to mass up his units. Tanks and Hellbats and whatnot are not like Marines that produce, you know, 2 at a time every 30 seconds or so, 25. So they take a while longer to produce. You need more infrastructure for that. And well, he's not even going to go in with the Hellbats, scared of a couple of Hydras. Well, quite a lot of Hydras. So with these Hydralisks, I think this is the end of dropping. Only thing I would love to see is Najzmajs has to make a decision. He has to attack or he has to expand. Can't do both at once.
yeah, it does look like he's finally taking out that Widow mine. No real drones sent out to. Oh, actually, there it goes. So he's taking his 16-minute third base, which is a testimony to how behind he is. And at the very same time, as soon as Traditional sees that Widow mine going down, he's like, oh, well, I'm just gonna move my massive Hellbat army out.
Mm. And he's got tanks with this as well, but needs to position them correctly.
I'm actually surprised he's letting all of his that each Hellbat in his possession is actually a Hellbat and not a Hellion, because they have the vulnerability low range basically, and that could be abused. So if he mixed in some Hellions in this mix, it should go a lot better, I think.
Well, that is actually true, but at the same time there's a difference in that Hellions can't be healed, and you know there's a hit point difference as well, so maybe he just wants to have a lot of beef. I mean, Hellbats probably are not going to be the main DPSers in this army, probably going to be the tanks. But you know, in these numbers, does it even matter? And as he attacks Najzmajs' territory, Najzmajs is making a huge counterattack, getting stuck on the ramp once again. Very nice, effective SCV block there, causing Najzmajs to lose quite a number of Hydralisks, but he is breaking through. Meanwhile, uThermal does take out the lair and continues on to besiege the main base. There are swarm hosts to defend, but that shouldn't be a problem, as Traditional does have quite a number of scans. Third base from Najzmajs will go down as well, so I mean, this didn't go Najzmajs' way at all.
Yeah, he